Hi, Christian. Good morning. Another take one.
Hello, good morning, everyone. Take one. That is actually take four for the first time ever, but it's take one. Welcome back, everyone. How are you, Saeid? Are you well?
I'm very well. Thank you very much.
And apologies to everyone for the fact we haven't been around for the last week. I've had a few people message and say, "Where are you?" So we are back, and we will continue to be back consistently on a daily basis.
I thought maybe we can talk about one of the popular areas in Dubai today, which is Business Bay. For people's reference, it's right next to downtown where Burj Khalifa is, where one of the biggest mall in the world. I know I say these stats on these videos, and people sometimes get upset because every day there is something bigger and larger. I thought we can go into that. I'm gonna pull up the map here, and maybe right off the bat I can show you guys where it is. That might not be a bad idea.
I was waiting the question about Business Bay, and I was all prepared for the question, and now you've not asked it.
All right, can I ask you where is Business Bay to you? What comes to your mind when you think of Business Bay?
I think there's a couple of things really. The striking architecture, I think, is one of the main things. So many attractive high-rise buildings in that area, the rooftop pools, the amazing restaurants around there, the Dubai Water Canal. It's a stunning area, isn't it, visually?
Yeah, it is. And especially with some of the development there, I think you may have heard of the Bugatti, with the project with Bugatti, Jacob Tower with Jacob & Co., and the one with the Mercedes Tower. So these are some of the projects that with one of our partners. Maybe we do a bit of a shout out to Bugatti. They are developing it, and they are all three of them are going to be handed over by the end of next year. Funny enough, the reason that I'm talking about is because there aren't, unlike like downtown, for example, or Dubai Marina, there aren't branded residences typically in Business Bay. Originally, a lot of towers are built by private developers. Some of the big ones do, but recently Emaar has announced that they're going to launch one. It's not in the market yet, but that's going to be the first one, really top tier developer that is going to build in Business Bay. But historically, the existing towers that you have here, they're all, the name kind of gives it away. It's Business Bay, so there are a lot of commercial towers. The majority are commercial towers. Just to refresh your memory, we went to Bay Square Samana office there. Do you recall that?
I do, yeah.
That's Business Bay. That's the very core of the Business Bay, basically.
To jump in, Dubai's most popular permanent show, La Perle, is in Business Bay. It's quite well renowned, isn't it, in Dubai, that show?
Yeah, this is where it is. It's called Habtoor City. It's part of that. But yeah, it is essentially within Business Bay, you can say.
Yeah, because at Habtoor City, I think that they've got quite a renowned tennis academy, and I think there's a really good winter gardens there at Habtoor Palace as well.
You seem awfully knowledgeable about this, which raised some question. Have you been doing some research on this?
I know the area very well.
I like that. No, that's very good. Can you tell us a little bit more about this then?
I can actually, yeah. The winter gardens at Habtoor Palace is quite an attraction sort of during, I'm going to say, the colder months of the year, which for our UK viewers they will laugh at, but the comparatively colder months of the year, it actually transforms into a really, really attractive winter wonderland. It's very heavily visited and one of the most popular attractions in Dubai during the winter time.
You should take your kids out there and make a day out of it. Yeah.
From some of the rooftop pools around Business Bay, the views across Dubai, and you'll know better than me, of course, but they're as spectacular as you can find, aren't they?
Yeah. So the one that you were talking about, is it La Perla? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, Laperle, I believe.
It's basically like a Cirque du Soleil performance sort of thing, but on a permanent basis, and it's actually magnificent. I went there one time, and it was for my birthday a few years ago, and it was a tremendous experience.
Yeah, it is very similar to Cirque du Soleil. In fact, it was actually created by the director who worked on Cirque du Soleil, Franco Dragoni.
Again, very, very knowledgeable. I have to admit, very, very impressed. One of the reasons that Business Bay came to my mind is that it's one of those areas that is very heavily commercial, as I said. Again, the Business Bay, the name kind of gives it away, which creates a very good opportunity if you go and get something residential. First of all, if you buy a residential property, the upside, the potential for renting it, whether short-term and long-term, is really big. I was talking to Bugatti yesterday. They have 2 towers that they came up recently that are in Business Bay. One of them is called Aqua Rise. which I have jotted down some details here. And the other one is the Sky Hall. So 2 towers here. And interestingly enough, have you ever heard the name SLS? It's a hotel chain, mainly in the US.
I have, but it's not a popular chain in the UK. So I'm sure many of our UK viewers won't have at all.
SLS is actually a very, very nice hotel. It's very expensive, very high end. Some people may know that I was in hospitality, so I was in touch with them for a few years in Dubai and in Singapore. But right now, for example, just to give you context, the hotel per night is starting. Well, it actually says February. I don't know if they have anything right now. But it is one of the more expensive ones. So there is a chance that they may not even have anything available, if I'm being honest with you. This is fully booked. There is nothing available in SLS. It's Dubai high season. But if you put 3rd of December to 2nd of January right now...
It's probably because they won't let you stay for 30 days, so I'd say.
I'm happy to change that. I think I would be happy if I had a hotel business, if somebody wanted to stay that long. So right now, it is £404 for 3rd of December to 7th of December, right? So if you want it right now, 3rd of December to 4th of December, one night, that's basically £330. And the reason that I thought of this is that here in the UK, we talk about STL, short-term rent. I think this idea of the Airbnb, booking.com, and how individuals have now are able, or for the last few years, are able to get into that space. It's a potential that didn't exist before. If somebody talked about it 15 years ago, maybe some people were doing it, but it was not as accessible as it is right now. The way that you can buy a property and list it for a short list. And this is why I think that this idea came to me, that maybe we can do a video like this. They have these 2 towers, the Sky Hall, Aqua Rise, which are both located in Business Bay. One of them is a 29-floor building. The other one, I think it's a much, much bigger building. That one is Port Jacob. But yeah, it's around like a 30 G plus 29, one of them, for 2 million dirham, which is £400,000. You can buy a 1-bedroom. And the rent per night in a hotel like this is around 330. And I know it's high season. And you know, like Dubai is notoriously famous for having a very high occupancy rate. It doesn't require my stamp of approval or anything like that. A quick search will show you that. But you can potentially, especially when it is fully booked around New Year or like high season, which is basically October, November, December, January, February, March, April, 7 months of a year, it's pretty busy. You can buy a 1-bedroom and you can rent it at, you know, 300, 400 pounds a night. That is basically 12,000 pounds a month that you can rent it for. Even if you have like 18, 90% occupancy, which is not that crazy, you can really count on higher than that, 100% occupancy during high season. But you're looking at 12,000 pounds a month, potentially.
And how much does that apartment cost, Saeed?
A 1-bedroom right now with 800 square feet, that's around 2 million, which is 400,000 pounds.
Okay, and that's a decent sized apartment as well. When you compare to some of the UK alternatives, you're looking at anywhere between 300 to 700 square foot. So for an 800 square foot at £400,000.
This particular example that I'm talking about, this one is Aqua Rise. The area is 500 square foot, 800 square foot. It has 500 net and 300 square foot of terrace.
A really good size apartment, isn't it?
Yeah, but let's look at this: 400,000 pounds, and with the potential of generating, I mean, if it is fully rented at that price, which is not going to happen, it can be 140,000, but let's be conservative, 100,000 pounds that you can generate from renting it short term. And when we say short term, also bear in mind, you can do really 3, 4, 5 nights. That's one option. But a lot of people now, because Dubai become this place that people do remote work, they go there, you can do 1 month rent. That is also falls under short term category. Obviously, you cannot make the full price. You can make more money as opposed to renting it totally long term, which is like a 12-month contract.
How would one go about managing those nightly rentals though, Saeed?
We definitely do that. We have partners that can help with that. And, you know, you list the property with us and we do everything for you. So it's to the truest meaning it's hands off. We help you to set up a company if you want, and a bank account if you want that or not. I think it's a good idea to have a bank account. I mean, it's a tax-free revenue that you can generate. So we open a company, or we just get your residence visa with company or not, help you open a bank account. And every month when we rent it, which we do all the check-in, check out, cleaning the place, all the turnover, everything that is related to the property, the ongoing maintenance when and if it is required. Because these are brand new buildings, these are new properties, really, and the quality of the buildings are pretty good. There isn't a ton that go into it. But again, because it's short-term rent, there is a little bit more work than that needs to be done. And at the end of each month, the rent comes to you, deduct all the expenses, and you will have your income in your bank account.
For our UK buyers looking at first-time investment in Dubai, would you say that there is a necessity to actually go out and view the development, or can it literally be done on a hands-off basis, i.e. they don't need to ever visit Dubai should they wish to? If they're just looking at it from a numbers point of view, from an investment point of view, do you recommend the clients going out to see it?
I think you know this, especially post-COVID, the majority of the deals that we do, the way that we help our clients, it's all done remotely. They don't need to do it. On a fun level, I say, why not make a trip out of it? So more than anything, I think it will be beneficial just to have an excuse to go there, and it will also give you an idea that this can be your future. This will be a place that when it is cold right now, that it is right here in Manchester, you can have a place that you can escape to. So even from that perspective, I would recommend you to go. And if you decide to buy a property and invest with one of the properties that we recommend, we are more than happy to offer you that trip as well. 5 days, 4 nights of stay, or 5 nights of stay, 4 nights of stay at a 5-star hotel, and we pay for the entire trip should you decide to invest in a property as well. But really, in practical terms, you don't need to go there to do it. We can do everything. We can meet you here in the UK. We are based here at the moment. We can send one of our consultants to see you. Christian will be a very good person to do that. I can do it myself, or any of other investment consultant that we have. And basically, we show you all the details. But again, it's a high ticket purchase. If I want to do it myself, I don't mind going and paying a visit. It just gives me a little bit more extra assurance to see it from the site or the developer office and see really what I'm getting myself into.
Yeah, my take on that is, you've said it perfectly, to be honest with you, but my take on it is that if the numbers work, then that is enough often for a lot of our investors. We've always said take the emotion out of things. But having said that, we've not had one client that we've taken to Dubai that hasn't loved Dubai for the place that it is, and has ended up buying maybe additional units once they've actually been out there. So I do think, not that it's imperative, but I do think it is important to actually get a feel for what you're buying into, because the numbers then actually become realistic. Because when you're saying those numbers earlier on and we're doing a comparison to the UK, you actually think, really? Is that doable? When you actually then step into Business Bay, you actually see the amount of people that are around. You actually understand then why that return is realistic, why it will work. And it just, from a confidence and a trust piece, it's worthwhile, and especially if we're able to facilitate.
These are not just the stats. Right now, today is 3rd of December 2025. Go on Google, whatever you do, search booking.com, any website that do your booking, no affiliation here, and look for DoubleTree, for example, DoubleTree Hilton Business Bay. I know this because I was going to book a hotel and stay there for a client of ours. There is nothing available. This is next to Bay Square, Business Bay, DoubleTree Hilton. Just go look it up. It just shows you, like when we talk about 100% occupancy at the high season in many of the hotels, it's not just a stat, it is actually happening. That's all I'm going to say for this one.
Thank you very much, everyone. See you next time.